Amy and I spent 3 weeks in Spain in May 2023. This map shows Spain, which is located in the southwestern corner of Europe. And the following map shows where we went. We flew to Barcelona, number 3, but then drove north to number 1, the Costa Brava beaches, and into the Pyrenees, and spent 3 nights. This video shows some highlights and video of our trip. And this was one of them, the monastery of San Pierre de Rhodes overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. We saw lots of churches and cathedrals on the trip, including this Basilica de Saint Philou in Jerome. For some reason this dog is in the river.
Got a collar on.
Yeah.
It's not a stray. A lot of seagulls.
The bridge at Besalú in Spain. Beautiful. Dating to the 9th or 10th or so century, but replaced several times. We did a short hike to the crater of Santa Margarita volcano in the Volcano Zone National Park. For the next part of our trip, we flew to the island of Mallorca, which is about 128 miles from Barcelona, out in the Mediterranean Sea. Joining us in Mallorca were Amy's friends and colleagues. On the left, Ann Durbus, and in the middle, Lori Mitchell. The reason for being in Mallorca was for Ann Durbus and Amy to study a painting called The Passion of Christ, which they are proposing to do some articles and maybe lectures and a book on. And here's the painting.
Actually, I think from photos, I think it has been fairly recently cleaned.
Has it? It's just kind of dark. It doesn't, I think it would have been brighter in its original. Oh, I'm sure they would have.
Yeah, that's the big question is if Mary was actually wearing blue originally, how old she was. Actually, I'm getting excited anyway. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good.
So that's Francis in the place of fire. Remember that poor obscure person was still alive. We could just interesting behind. In fact, it reminds me of something here.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's unusual, that man.
It sure is. It sure is.
Oh, it's huge. See the middle. Right.
Story is.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Okay, so her husband is here. He has some distinguished guests who come to visit, and he sends for his wife. His wife is already taken a vote of asceticism on her own. She's not part of any order or anything like that, but she does a very strict spiritual advisor. So Elizabeth has nothing to wear tonight, nothing suitable. So
An angel.
she kneels down to pray. God's hand.
The prayer is answered.
The angel appears with a mantle and a crown.
Oh, so yeah.
She's at her finery, and she goes to see them and scolds them.
Yeah.
And she preaches. She kind of preaches to them too.
Yeah.
She sure does.
Afterward, we go to the convent of Santa Clara, where the painting was kept up until fairly recently. And the chanting is by nuns who are cloistered. You can't see them off to the right somewhere. Nuns praying in the Convent de Santa Clara, Mallorca, Spain. It's amazing how good people are at parallel parking here. Often there's only less than a foot between the cars. Here we're taking the historic train from Palma up and over and through the mountains to Solar and Port de Solar on the northern side. That's the tram from Solar to Port de Solar, and this is Port de Solar. The harbor, the harbor entrance is over there, and it's totally protected. Great harbor, but mainly a tourist town now. Surrounded by mountains all the way around. We just finished eating at that hotel for lunch. And back around. The Cathedral of Palma. If y'all will step this way, I'll show you our most wonderful piece of art. It's called the shovel, and right there it is. I can't find a shovel in it, but that's what for some reason they call it.
Art historians in action.
That's what's right.
More than most really want to see. Now you really know the species.
Right.
Yeah, we're all like Amy. And now you can write the definitive guide to art historians.
Art historians, right. Right.
Yeah.
Strange species, but I think our greatest asset is
Nothing but food restaurants that way
All right.
and that way for at least 2 blocks. On the next part of our trip, we flew back with Anne and Lori to Barcelona and saw the sights of Barcelona.
Now the bathroom, you have everything. Towels, toilet paper, everything.
okay. Yeah.
Okay? And what else? Here, normal bedrooms, you've seen it. Bed, window, floor, I mean, that's everything. But here is the key point of the presentation, okay? The door is semi-automatic. So, every time you close it like this, it's going to close here in 10 seconds delay. So, it's going to be always closed. Okay? So, you just have to wait. I mean, if you close it,
Not
like,
here, yeah.
in fact, it's going to be closed always, okay?
National Museum of Catalonia. This is a huge domed area. It wasn't a monastery. It was a palace built originally for a World's Fair, I think. Huge place. This is the main thing I personally wanted to see in Barcelona, the Familia Sangria Cathedral. They've been working on it for over 100 years and have maybe another decade or so to go to finish it. It's an incredibly different and beautiful structure looming way up high above the city all around it.
So, in the second level, at the right, you're going to see Jesus laying on the cross. And someone is going to pour the cross for him. This is Simon. This is already the ascension.
It's raining hard out there as we descend hundreds of steps down from one of the towers. Finally, in Barcelona, we take a tour of the Casa Bello, designed by the same guy that did the Sangria Familia Cathedral, and it's really different and really modern, avant-garde, I guess. That's water coming down the side there, inside where the steps are, and this is kind of a chainmail type thing that goes from the bottom to the top. On the next part of our trip, Amy and I flew to Granada, number 4 on this map, and then rented a car and drove to number 5, which is Cordoba, while Anne and Lori flew back to the United States. In Granada, we first went to the Mirador San Nicolas, which provides a great view of the Alhambra on the other ridge, which is the #2 tourist destination in Spain. The Alhambra was the last stronghold of the Moors before they were kicked out. The Alhambra dates to 1237 CE, and it consists of, on the right, a fort, to the left is the palace, and beyond that on the left is the cathedral. The Alhambra. This is the fortress part. In Cordoba, we mainly saw the Grand Mosque, which could hold 40,000 worshippers, and dates to 1237 CE. This is the original mosque, and over there is a cathedral. And there is the Chapel of the Immaculate Conception, built, of course, by the Christians. Amazingly, in the middle of the mosque, the Catholic kings, after reconquest, tore down much of the mosque and built this gaudy cathedral. Totally surrounded on the three sides by the mosque. A real difference in styles. Again, the good Christian church compared with the simplicity of the mosque is striking.
Recuerden que hemos hecho ese paréntesis para ver esa gran capilla.
On the last part of our trip, we drove from Cordoba #5 to Toledo #6, and then on to Madrid, the capital, #7. Toledo, and more or less the view and the famous painting by El Greco. We had some great food in Toledo, including a couple of vegetarian places. It's also the home of 2 of the 3 remaining Jewish synagogues. They kicked the Jews out, of course, under Ferdinand and Isabella. And there's also one remaining in Cordoba, the Regis Company. This was probably my favorite scenic view of the entire trip. And compare it with El Greco's famous painting view of Toledo, shown here. I have no idea what this is all about. Some pretty heavily armed policemen around. Plaza Mayor in Madrid, Spain. We saw several people dressed up in costumes like this one or other characters, this one being Godzilla or King Kong or whatever, soliciting tips, of course, for photographs. And they're all in the area of the three great art museums in Madrid, including the Prado. Unfortunately, they didn't allow photographs in most of them, so no photographs or videos. We spent most of our time in Madrid going to the art museums and also having some really good restaurant food. The Palace of the Royalty in Madrid, and across the courtyard is the Cathedral of La Almudena. Important buildings, obviously, in Madrid.